Hey you guys, welcome back to High Priestess Transmissions. My name is Nikki. I am an initiated High Priestess, espiritista, witch, and psychic medium. And I've been practicing espiritismo for about 7 years. And I am of partly Romani descent, and I was raised in a Greek Roma household. And something that I specialize in is helping people connect with their gitanas and gitanos, if they have them either in their ancestry or their spiritual court, in a real, accurate, culturally aware and grounded way, because there is so much effing misinformation, aesthetic spirituality, and stereotypes in general, but especially within the espiritismo. Okay, this is not the Instagram version or TikTok version of gitanas. This is the real version, coming from someone who grew up in the culture and knows gypsies like the back of my hand, okay? Because this is a huge issue and it's very problematic, okay? Number one, the fortune teller stereotype does have truth to it, okay? A lot of Romani people dispute this and say it doesn't, but that's not true. A lot of Romani people are against it because of their own religious background and beliefs, because the truth is, not all Romani people are fortune tellers. A lot of Romani people don't believe in tarot, they don't like witchcraft, they don't like magic, they don't even like crystals and gemstones and evil eye. They are completely Christian or Jewish or Muslim or something else. Okay? But the reality is there were a lot of Romani people, especially women, who were and still are psychics, readers, and spiritual workers. Because back in the day, women could barely work, and especially Romani women, there were only a few jobs that they could do. And being a spiritualist was one of them. And they kind of, did what they had to do to survive and took advantage of the fact that white people saw their spirituality as powerful and would rely on them for spiritual assistance. So their spiritual work became survival. Okay? And their spiritual gifts were a lineage and survival tool. So gitanas may help you activate your divination skills, your psychic abilities, your spiritual gifts, and all of that. My job is the same job that my ancestors have practiced as a trade for centuries. Notice that I'm saying as a trade, okay? It's very, very ingrained in us as a culture to have trades. Skills that you can carry with you that will help you to make money regardless of the state of the economy. Skills that people will always need. Things that will always be in demand. Okay? But yes, a lot of us have been fortune tellers for generations. Okay? Point number 2, and this one gets the fuck on my nerves. The hyper-sexualized gitana is a distortion. The trope of the seductive, flirtatious man-eater, this is very conflicting with reality because Romani culture is actually very modest and family-centered and honor-based. And a lot of gitanas have traits like being reserved, disciplined, selective. And the nuance here is sensuality can exist, but it's not universal. Okay? They're very, they believe in only sharing that with your husband. Okay? They just don't believe in showing that to everyone. So it really, really upsets me when I see people being in the streets, male or female, and on the trampoline with everybody, and just acting a fool, and being a drunken, slutty mess, and blaming it on their gitana. I'm like, girl, you're fucking... Can y'all tell this bugs me? Like, she wants to slap you right now. I can almost promise you. Okay? And this is not me being biased or anything. Again, there is nothing wrong with sexuality or dancing or sensuality or passion or trampoline time, you know, all that yummy, beautiful, sexy stuff. There's nothing wrong with those things. It's the reality of the world that we live in, and the fact that displaying that energy for the entire world to see, whether it's on the internet or within a misa, it invites predators and predatory energy, and it's not good for you. Okay? And that itself can be a whole separate podcast episode, but we'll get there. Number 3. Gitanas are protectors first. Okay? They are not just here for love, beauty, and attraction work. Okay? A lot of people don't know this, but Romani people, gypsies, have dealt with a lot of persecution and displacement over the years. We were enslaved in Europe for, I want to say, about 500 years. Chattel slavery. I forgot what the actual number is, but there's an estimate that up to... Matter of fact, let me just look this up right now. How many Romani were killed in the Holocaust? How many Romani... And this is just an estimate, because there's no way of knowing. Let's see. It's a big number, it's bad. Okay, it says between 250,000 and 500,000 in the Holocaust. A lot of people think it was just Jews in the Holocaust. No, a big portion was Romani people as well. Okay? And that's pretty recent. Dealing with that has given us a heightened awareness. And this means that a lot of gitanas and gitanos are very alert, very intuitive, strategic, and protective, because God knows they don't want that crap to happen again. Okay? And this can show up as warnings about people, nudging you to cleanse. They will teach you, if you listen, they will teach you different ways of cleansing yourself. Okay? They can teach you a lot. Romani folk magic, Romani spirituality is very, very effective. It's very simple. It uses pretty accessible ingredients, a lot of fruits and other spices, herbs, plants, whatever, that are pretty easy to get. But it's very effective. And if you have a gitana in your spiritual court that wants you to learn some Romani magic, first I would recommend booking a spiritual court reading with me. And then after that, if you're interested, I do offer a mentorship, 1-on-1 for 12 weeks. And I can cater it to you and specifically teach you Romani folk magic. Okay? And you can learn more about that at sirensnectar.com/mentorship. But I love Romani magic because it's very protective and it's hard to break. It's not easy to break whatsoever. Okay? And it works. And also, she will give you these signals of discomfort. That's a big one that she does, especially within your body. So the key takeaway from that part is they care more about protection than aesthetics. Okay? Point number 4, they value respect, not performance. This is not aesthetic spirituality, and don't get me wrong, they love beautiful things. Okay? They love it. My gitana, I've told y'all many times, she's bougie as hell. She's my great-grandmother. She's in my DNA. She's an egun of mine. Okay? So I kind of know where my bouginess comes from. I get it, honestly, I do. And I love her. But at the same time, they value things that are real and that work. Okay? Just having a pretty altar is not enough. Having a pretty altar does not equal real connection. And what they actually respond to is their core values: integrity, consistency, behavior, and modesty. Okay? This is not about just lighting up a candle for your gitana, putting on a headscarf and a long skirt, and having a photo shoot. You cannot cosplay Romani culture. Okay? Embodiment is much more important than performance. Anyone close to me, whether it's a friend or a loyal client, will tell you that I'm about this life. I live, eat, breathe this. Okay? And that's what matters. Point number 5, they will check you. Okay? They will call you out, especially when you are having a big difficulty in your life, or when you're self-sabotaging, and most importantly, when you are participating in something that is dangerous and harmful to you. Let me tell you something. They will sit your ass down. Okay? Y'all don't even... Oh my god. Y'all do not even understand the inner work journey that has transpired since I came out with that Romani... No, not since I came out with it. Since I started that Evil Eye course that I made in honor of my ancestors. My ancestors are so diabolical, you guys. Yes, they wanted me to make a course for you guys. Absolutely. That's like reason number 2 of why they pushed me to do it. Reason number 1 was me breaking ancestral curses and generational patterns on their side that's embedded in my DNA and 10xing my inner work. It helping y'all is just a bonus. I got hoodwinked, bamboozled into making that course. And when I got the download, y'all, I was like, yay! My ancestors and I are co-creating a course for my audience. Fuck yes. Girl, it was so much more than that. They checked my ass, and they sat my ass down and course corrected me. Anyway, it's refinement, not punishment, okay? But they will sharpen you. A lot of them were blacksmiths and iron workers at the end of the day. Okay, that they carry that energy into the spiritual world. Point number 6. They may not look how you expect. Okay. So the common expectation is the long skirts, the coins, a very dramatic aesthetic. And don't get me wrong, though there is a certain way of dressing within Romani culture. Okay. They love bright colors. Long skirts are a must. Long pants are a must for men, because they see the lower half of the body as being unclean. And then for the coins, a lot of like the coin jewelry and stuff comes from displaying our wealth. And then the dramatic aesthetic, like they just like bright colors because it represents life. But there's a nuance here. It can be a lot more simple than that and quiet and culturally specific. Okay, and a lot of it depends on different regional roots. Greek, Spanish, etc. Okay, and also if your gitana or gitano is Muslim. Right? That makes a difference in how they dress. Especially the women, they might wear a hijab. Okay? So this is why it's important to get to know your gitana or gitano and where they come from and research it and all of that. Okay? So authenticity is more important than aesthetic recognition. Point number 7. This is a cultural current. Okay? This is not just a spiritual practice. This is tied to real people and real culture. And it requires respect, humility, and a willingness to learn and be open-minded. And let me be very clear. You don't need Romani ancestry. Okay? You can have a gitana or multiple in your closet spiritual within your spiritual court and not have Romani ancestors. But you do need cultural awareness. Okay? Because the relationship with them is more important than just consumption and stereotypes. Okay. So to recap, just be mindful, like this is not aesthetic. Okay, this is real, lived, protecting knowledge that's sacred. And I invite you to go deeper and be honest and move with respect. Okay, you will get so much further. And in turn, you will be blessed, not just in the material realm, but also with stronger intuition, deeper protection, and discernment. Okay? So if you would like to connect with your spiritual court or find out if you have a gitana or gitano that walks with you, you can go to sirensnectar.com/booking to book your spiritual court reading. And also to check out my Evil Eye course that is based in Romani folk magic, because we know the Evil Eye very well. For protection, cleansing, and reversal work, go to sirensnectar.com/evil eye. And my most favorite offering for y'all is my 12-week one-on-one personalized witchcraft and tarot container. If it's aligned, we'll have to do a small reading first, which is free. But Romani folk magic teachings are included if that's part of your path. It's not for everyone because it requires depth and discipline and respect. Okay? But other than that, I will talk to y'all soon, okay? Thank you. Bye.